Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. I hope that before continuing in this video, you have all these images ready. So if you're not sure how to do this, I have a session in Docker, which is to create a custom image. In that, I would have created these three images on my Docker Hub. So all I have to do is right now to deploy this on Kubernetes. Now, before you proceed further to the other sections in terms of deployments, you may need to have different versions of an application for you to proceed with the different types of deployments and see some hands-on towards it. To do that, we are going to need different versions of your application, and I'm going to tell you how to deploy it, the commands for it to run while you're planning to deploy it on the Nginx, the version of items in the Nginx versions. You're going to deploy it on kube control. So that's basically what we're going to do on this video. I'm going to do kube control run Nginx 1. That's the name of my pod. My FNAF image. I'm using beyondcloud.ai /Nginx. :v1. So that's the tag I'm going to use. So this is basically my repository name, the repository, the sub-repository which I have over here. That's the username, sorry, and this is the repository name. And the version 1, 2, and 3 is what I have over here. These are the three different tags. So this has the command for you to use on Docker pool, but we're not going to use Docker here. We are going to use kube control. Here we are going to pull this image in this way. So we're going to type the username and your repository with the tag number. And after that, we're going to define port as 80, -, restart is never. So when I run this, you can see pretty much my container is getting created. The container started running. So this is basically the first Nginx, version 1, which I have deployed. So here you can also rename this to Nginx v1 to represent that it is a version 1. But I for sure know. Let's use the curl command to see if this works. So just put 80 over here. And then you can see, hello, welcome to Nginx version 1. So this works perfectly, and there's no issue in getting the output, and it is basically the version 1 information which is getting popped out from this server. So that's a good news. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use the kube control logs of this particular image. So here, if I just read the logs, you can see that you can see that the entry point of your particular virtual machine. So that's the container getting started over here. You can also see the Nginx getting started over here. You can also see that my request, which I just executed using curl, so it also came over here. So this is the log of your Nginx container or the pod. This is what comes as an output over here. Well, you can also check the description of this pod to understand what exactly happened. So you can just use kubectl. The name of the, describe pod / the name of the pod. So this is going to get you the description. Now you can see that it is scheduled and then pulling of your image, and this image is being pulled out from the beyondcloud.ai Nginx v1, which is already present on the machine because we have already downloaded it multiple times for the Docker session. So that may be the reason that it is already present. If it's not already present, you can yourself pull it right now and have that on your system. And then you can see that it is creating this Nginx image out in this pod, and you can see that it is starting this image right now. So that's pretty much what the Kubernetes is doing to you at this moment, wherein which it is helping you to deploy the application, which is already as a custom image is kept over here. Anyhow, this is how you need to deploy the first image. Let's just deploy many images right now. So which is kubectl. The command is going to be run nginx 2, or you can give v2 as well. Image is equal to same thing, beyond cloud, the same image name, and then -- port equal to 80, and then - restart equal to never. So now as I'm using the kube control port get ports -o wide command on the worker node, you can see it in real time what's happening over here on the worker node as well for every second. So now I've created the nginx2 pod over here, and you can see that has started running over here. So in the same way, I'll create the I'm really sorry for messing up. So kube control delete pod, the second pod, because I created the version 1 itself rather than the version 2. So I'm just going to create version 2 over here, and then I'm going to create version 3 over here for the nginx 3. So I've created all these 3 versions of your nginx, and you can pretty much see that the IPs are ready for me to test. So curl IP address and 80, and you will see version 2 over here. So nginx version 2, which is a background color of orange. And then if I'm accessing the third nginx, I should be able to get the version 3 here, which is a green background. So you can see that every time I access different nginx, I'm getting a different response. This is because I have already built this image and sent it to Docker Hub, so that I can pull the image from Docker Hub directly from, when I'm using Kubernetes from any system around the world, because this particular username is and this particular repository is public, so anyone can access this and can download my version of this to yourself. But I would like you to build your version of nginx and then start uploading it on your username, and then you use that one, and that makes much sense for me. To remove this, you can use kubectl delete pod name. I've also given you a script to do this activity, so you can use that for loop as well. And then you can remove all of these kube pods. Thanks again for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.